What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another Planet Zoo episode for you guys today. And today, guys, we'll be talking about the best animal to pretty much farm conservation credits in the franchise mode. Now, for those of you that have played Planet Zoo, you know coming across conservation credits can be a little bit difficult when you're starting off, and you know, just in general, sometimes if you don't have a really good animal to just mass breed. But guys, today I'm here to bring you one of those animals, and that is the cheetah. Now, the cheetah itself is pretty cheap in the trade market. You can actually get a couple of them for about 200 conservation credits, I believe. We'll quickly just chuck on the filter. Let's go cheetah. I think we might have to turn off the bears. There we go. You can see there, 185, 145. These guys go for the cheap. Is that an albino one? I'm going to buy that right now. I'm going to adopt that. Give me the cheetah. It's still got some breeding in it. It's a male. Did I get it? There we go. Sweet. So we got an albino. Just for the heck of it, why not? Now, you guys can see here, they are relatively cheap, costing about 210 to, you know, I think the max you can get them is like 300. They range. It depends on how greedy people are for them. But guys, the really cool thing about this is you pretty much just want to look for one that has really high fertility. Now, what you can do is you can obviously click on them and you can find out whether or not they've got the high fertility gene from the right-hand side. Now, you first off want to find one with the highest fertility gene possible. Helps if I can speak. We currently, it doesn't look like there's really too many of them on the market at the moment. Okay, there you go. 67%. You know, that's not amazing, but that's decent. You definitely want to go for something like that. And you also want to go for, you know, some other ones that have, obviously you want a pair. So you do want a female and a male. But this one, for example, Sada, 67%, and her other genes are pretty good as well. You definitely want to adopt her. Now, like I said, you do want to look out for their age as well, because they max out at about 11 years is when they stop producing offspring. So you definitely have to keep an eye out for that as well when you're going about purchasing these guys. But once you do eventually get a breeding pair of cheetahs, the rest is essentially history. So the reason why you want a high fertility one is because the higher their fertility, the more offspring they will produce in one go. You can currently see here we've got two adults in here, Nadali and Amina, and she has produced 4 offspring. You can see them there. They're all the same age. They're all, you know, the same sort of thing. And she's only 4.5 years old. Now, we're obviously looking after her real good, keeping her real good. And her gene pool is 83% fertility. So the higher the fertility, the more offspring you will be producing for your cheetahs. And you can currently see here, we've got another enclosure over here with them. And this one has produced 4 as well. Now, if we come into the Zoopedia, you'll actually see that it says their maximum amount of offspring is 4. So if we come into natural habitat, species data, you can see here age of sexual maturity. So at 2 years old, they gain sexual maturity, and then sexual sterility is 12 years. So it normally stops about 11 through my experience. And then you can see here, number of offspring per mating event, 1 to 5. So if you get a high fertility cheetah, you can expect up to 5 offspring in one go. And as well as that, there's only a 3-month gestation incubation period, and then obviously 19-month into birth period, which means that you have to wait 19 months before they can rebreed, which is why you want a young one. And the reproduction captivity is is easy. So you definitely want to try and get these guys because they produce babies like crazy. Now, the reason why you want to do this is because after they have turned into adults, you then want to release them into the wild. That's right. You don't want to sell them back on the market. You want to release them into the wild. Now, guys, this is where things get a little bit, not complicated, but a little bit intense. So what you can do is once you've got a couple set up, for example, I had 2 set up. I actually took the offspring from so I took a female from this group and I took a male from this group, and I actually put them in this group. Now, I did get a new male for this, so they aren't into breeding. Ooh, an animal died. Oh, old age. So they aren't into breeding, and we've just got a continuous line. So then what you can do is once you've got that set up, you can then take the babies from there, mix the babies with an adult from here, or one of the offspring, sorry, and then you can move those guys into here. And you can currently see here, their enclosures aren't anything amazing, except for this one. I kind of spent some time on that. These ones were just purely for these trade conservation credits. You can see here we've got 18,000. Nothing too amazing, but you know, it's a decent amount. So we are just trying to farm these credits up at the moment with these guys, and they are a great source of them. So what we'll do is, they shouldn't be too far off adulthood. Let's take a look here. You can see they're all playing, and you can actually speed this up. Once you've got your zoo sorted, you can actually speed this up and increase it 10 times over. Well, not 10 times, 3 times, I guess. And these guys only take 2 years to mature before you can actually sell them. So these guys are one of the fastest breeders and one of the easiest ways to go about getting conservation credit. Now what we'll do is we'll showcase to you guys how much they sell for when they reach adulthood, which should be only like a month or 2 away. And you can see here they don't need much in their enclosure. A couple of enrichment items, some hard shelter. You can easily use the pre-generated one instead of having to make your own. And you can see here we've done that for a couple of enclosures, and we essentially just have a bunch of cheetahs running around now, because these guys are great for producing offspring. Now, like I said, you want to make sure that your adults aren't getting too old as well. So just keep an eye on their age. You can see here 5.5 years, still a really good age, but our other babies, they should be just about ready to... You can see here 1.9 years old and just casually dropping a poo in front of us. 2 years old, 1 more month, and this guy will be good to go. Okay, and you can see here we've got the fighting due to overcrowding. That's how you know they are they're ready to go. So what you can do is you can come into your animals tab here, and you can actually cycle through and see each of them. Now, this little big boy, he's getting old. I don't know where he is. Habitat 8. We'll figure him out. But let's go for the babies right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to hold onto one of the new adults from here. So I think we've already got a female in the trade center. Yes. So she's a young one, so we won't hold on to her. What we'll do is we'll release all these ones, so you can see which ones they are by their age. So we've got these 4 here. So what we'll do is we'll grab all 4 of them. Actually, we'll just double check the female's fertility. Always check the female's fertility, because that's how you produce more offspring. So 66, not that great. What we'll do is we'll sell her as well. But what we can do is we can come in here and we can go animals and go bum, 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 bum. Now, this was 4 offspring. Imagine if we got 5. Now, you don't want to send these guys to the trade center unless you actually want to trade them, because if you send them to the trade center and then decide to release them to the wild, you will lose value on the conservation credits. But if we hit release animals to the wild, you can see there we get 2,239 trade credits for them. These guys average at about 400 to 500, unless, of course, you get a really good one, which apparently is Majani. So we're going to release all 3 of these. We're going to take a closer look at Majani just to make sure she doesn't have the good fertility gene. But just like that, we've got 1,425 conservation credits. Now, like I said, you can send these guys on the trade market, but it might take a bit of time. You might not get what you want, so you could miss out. I'm going to hold on to her because of her 83 fertility. And the higher the fertility is, the more conservation credits you earn as well. So you want to try and keep that fertility gene going. You want to try and have that high fertility gene through all your offspring. So just like that, that one is ready to go. I believe these guys are just about ready to go. And these guys over here should be just about ready to go. So you can see here we've got 4 habitats, producing 3 to 4 offspring each go. Okay, this one only produced 2, which is a bit of a shame. What's her fertility at? Omaro's, she's hungry apparently. 66%. Okay, so we got a bit unlucky on that. But that's fine. You know, still, that's 800 conservation credits, which, you know, you need. Okay, so we've got fighting overcrowding here. We'll pause it here as well, and we'll take a look. So, like I said, check their fertilities. So these are the offspring here. So we've got 4 of those guys. So if we hit boom, and you can tell if they've got good fertility genes when you go to release them, if they give you good conservation credits. So we might hold on to Zookeeper, take a look at him, and then we can match him up with the other female. But look, just like that, we've already made 3,000 conservation credits. Now, this obviously isn't the fastest way, but this is one of the best ways to go about it. If you pair this well with the community challenges, you can also like farm a crap ton of conservation credits depending on what the animal is. But you can see here she's got a fertility, or he's got a fertility of 100%. So we're actually going to hold on to him and rename him 100% fert. But that is essentially all you guys need to know in order to farm up conservation credits really early. Like, cheetahs do not take much to look after. They've got a really basic sort of enclosure, and you don't need to worry too much about keeping them happy, because they're pretty happy in stuff like this, and stuff like this, and stuff like this. Like, literally, we've got 2 hard shelters, a feeding tray, a couple of enrichment items, and that is it. Not much space either. So, you know, if you guys want to farm up conservation credits real easily, this is the way to do it. We've got 21,450. That's the most we've had at any one stage. As well as that, they do bring in a lot of guests for your zoo as well. You can see we've been running at profit for a few years now due to these guys, which is really good. So, yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the video for today. If you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to check out my other Planet Zoo videos, a lot of the franchise ones as well, if you guys are interested in them. But, yeah, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one. I got this soda.
Remy boys, they